There's a sad fact that Muslims bellow out to the world. They say the Qur'an is incomplete. This is not being said by Salman Rushdie. This is not being said by people who we feel don't like Islam. This is what the average Muslim says, that the Qur'an is incomplete, because they were taught like this. Don't take my word for it. I'm giving you the verse for it. Here is the verse in the Qur'an. Chapter 41, verse 3. Kitabun fussilat ayatu. It's a book whose verses are explained in detail. Anybody who knows the Arabic language will know what fussilat means, what faslun means. When Allah says, وَفَصَّلْنَا الْآيَاتِ. So Allah is saying, this Qur'an is a book. If you study it, you don't have the need for anything else. But Muslims are crazy. They abandon the Qur'an and follow everything else. That's why there is mess. Tremendous mess in the average Muslim community, organization, masjid, country, you name it. Because why? They really don't know who they are. They really don't know who they are. They're practically Iranians in outlook, and they're Arabs in outlook. And that's the main focus. To present Islam from a point of view of Iranians, or to present Islam from a point of view of Arab culture. There is very little effort to present Islam to the human being as a philosophy of dynamic enlightenment to escape the human darkness that have been engineered by people in society. All the darkness in society is not God. Who made it? It's the human beings. Who is unleashing darkness on Muslims in their own country? You cannot take Muslims' hands out of that. The Qur'an says, ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ فِي الْبَحْرِ. In Surah Al-Rum, chapter 30. ظَهَرَ الْفَسَادُ فِي الْبَرِّ وَالْبَحْرِ. Chaos and confusion, tumult, have surfaced on the land and in the sea. بِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِي النَّاسِ. Because of what the hands of people have brought about. لِيُذِيقَهُمْ بَعْضَ الَّذِي عَمِلُوا. And Allah allows this to happen because you and I are in charge of our own destiny. Allah does not interfere. You want to throw a knife at the door, God doesn't hold your hand back. He said, "Oh, cut the apple instead and eat." So God doesn't interfere in human life. So don't blame God. Don't blame God, and don't leave your work for God to do. That seems to be the dilemma of misguided people. They leave their work to God. Oh God, do this. Oh God, do that. Oh God, do that. And when it doesn't happen, God is responsible. God is responsible for all the poor people. God is responsible for all the people who live under dictators. How can God be responsible for that? There is no verse in the Qur'an where God gets involved in this. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِقَوْمٍ حَتَّى يُغَيِّرُ مَا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. God will not change the condition of a people. They are the ones who have the ability to change what they don't like. God didn't tell you to put dictators as your leaders. God didn't tell you to put half-baked people as your leaders. God didn't tell you to put kings as your leaders. God didn't tell you to put people who do not advance the cause of humanity as leaders. It is the Muslims who put them. So God will not take them away. It is the Muslims who have to remove them. Last verse. In fact, I'll skip that because of time. I'll give you why the Qur'an. Why this Qur'an came. So you and I can have a chance to check ourselves. I don't have to check you. And you will waste your time if you try to check me. We shouldn't be checking one another. We shouldn't be spying on one another. People are so obsessed. Oh, I don't see that one praying. Oh, really? I saw him pray his fard, he didn't pray sunnah. And you go there and you gossip. Oh, this one didn't fast. Oh, he started the fast too late. Oh, he broke the fast too early. You know what you and I should worry about? What we have been doing, what it is done for us. What you and those who pray and those who fast, ask yourself, what has this prayer and fasting done for you? Don't be too bothered about those who didn't fast or don't pray. Because if those who pray and those who fast are better than those who don't pray and don't fast, then you have something really tangible to help those with. Don't forget the Qur'an says, وَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ. Woe to those people who think they're performing salah and they're just making mockery of themselves and of this whole system. So salah is not just to stand up. Salah is to reflect divine magnificence in the life. It's a struggle. It's a challenge. It's like climbing to the peak of a mountain. It's hard work. So let me give you one verse of why this Qur'an came. So at least you will keep it with you and share it with all your relatives and friends. Because this is a month of partying. People will prefer going and meeting their relatives and having the same kind of iftar party, although most of it end up in just eating and gossiping. Rather than charter new courses for their lives to sit down and study. You will find they make the same priorities. Ramadan comes and Ramadan goes. Their priorities don't change. So hear this one. Please share it at the parties. And this is found in chapter 14, verse 1 and 2. Kitabun. And this is a dialogue to the Prophet, the beloved Prophet. Kitabun anzalnahu ilayk. Allah is telling the beloved Prophet, it is an ordinance. Anzalnahu ilayk, we reveal to you. Why? That you will tell people to read it and they'll get blessings? No way. لِتُخْرِجَ النَّاسَ مِنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ. That you will extricate people from all the darknesses and oppressions that their hands have brought about in society. All the dhulumat you see in society, who did it? God? The messenger of God? Or the human beings? So who you think has to change it? The messenger of God? God himself? Or the people? It's the people. So Allah says to the Prophet that your role is to explain this book to these people that they don't have any doubt that there is a difference between divine guidance and the religion of their forefathers. The challenge for Muslims, as they are stuck in the religion of their forefathers, and most of it don't make sense. Let me repeat that. The average Muslim is stuck in the religion of their forefathers, although most of it don't make sense. Sense matters to us when we deal with economics, when we deal with politics, when we deal with studies, when we deal with the supermarket, when we drive car, when we build houses. That sense we don't put down. Because if we are to analyze the religion we inherited, from whichever part of the world we have come, we will see that those areas from which we have come, they are burning in fire. They are burning in fire. You can close your eyes and say, no, this brother is not telling the truth. You can blame somebody else for it. And you can see if you practice that same religion, wherever you are, it's not going to do anything much for you. It's going to make you a cultural Muslim living in North America who's unable to advance his society that he has become now part of. So the Qur'an has told the Prophet, and this is the main reason of the Qur'an.